the favorite Lord Killer.
Here we go.
Hey guys, welcome back to round 3. Still Regina here.
And I'm Arnie Wolf. I'm very excited. I'm back. I've been waiting so long to come back here. I am making my semi-triumphant return. Whatever.
But round 3 is gonna be fun.
Let's get
We've
started.
got Patrick versus Anthony, so 2 very well-known local players here. I'm super pumped up for it,
Let's do this
mostly
thing.
because sparkle time.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
we got double Xerneas.
So it'll be fun. We'll
be
see
fun
exactly
to
how it is. They're setting up, so this will be interesting. I've played both of them 2 separate times. Once was when I was running a practice team against Anthony, and I got my butt handed to me.
Okay.
The other time was when I was running a Blaziken team against
Blaziken is
Patrick.
amazing, by the way.
I love
just
Blaziken.
Mega Blaziken is like my all-time favorite.
It was the only time
the
I've
best.
ever done really well at a tournament, guys. Like honestly.
But it's
I
like
was-
Mega, you can't really butcher Mega Blaziken.
Oh, you definitely can. You
Well,
definitely can. Play Mega Blaziken.
Well, it depends. It depends.
My
If you
flaming chicken.
if you train it right,
But,
it's hard.
Yeah, so they're
Alright.
just kind of setting up. It'll be kind of fun to see this. I think
That's gonna be
we've got
exciting.
sort of a very familiar team for Patrick. If you guys have been paying attention to anything that's been going on in this series, or watching what's been going on with 4-time regional winner Riley Factura. I love saying that. It's my
4-time
favorite.
regional.
Okay, it used to be 3, and then I was
And
like,
then-
Riley, when I hang out with you again, I'm gonna have to say 4, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna mess it up, and it's gonna be really embarrassing for me because I'm gonna forget because I was there at Portland when he got his 4th regional title. But we've got
Let's get
Anthony
this
on your
started.
left side with that Tapu Fini, Smeargle, Incineroar, Xerneas, Kartana, and Zygarde on your right. Patrick with that Kyogre, Ludicolo, the Tornadus, Incarnate, Xerneas, Kartana, and Incineroar.
Right off the bat, I see we have the Xerneas mirror, we have the Incineroar mirror, we have the Kartana mirror. So that's actually really funny that we're going to see those 3 kind of go against each other. And neither of them really countered the other well. Kartana maybe with Sacred Sword.
Well,
But that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is here too. You've got 2 different grass types. You've got a bunch of different grass types here. You've got the Smeargle with the Follow Me. You've got no way for Patrick to really stop any sort of sleep powder except for his own 2 grass types, unless Anthony's running like Lovely Kiss here. Spore obviously not being as popular because of the fact that we have things like Kartana and Ludicolo running around. Ludicolo generally known as a Kyogre counter, not going to be doing as much here, but we've got Kyogre, which is a really nice sort of kind of I guess counter against the Zygarde, and like
Yeah. Well, that depends, because if Kyogre really, even if it has a Choice Scarf, if Zygarde gets a Geomancy up, there's no
Zygarde.
stopping it.
You mean
Oh,
Xerneas?
Zygarde. Oh, I thought you said Xerneas.
no. But you've also got like the whole
course.
you've also got the Tornadus Kyogre like sort of lead, which has been really popular ever since we had that Japanese player run at Memphis. People have been using it to like amazing success, you know.
Yeah.
Riley, and then the winner of the special event in Frankfurt over in I think it was in Germany.
And I think what makes the charm of that is Tornadus benefits in 2 ways. First, you have the Tailwind, so you don't have to run Choice Scarf on Kyogre. And then you also have the 100% Hurricane accuracy, and that is a brutal move. Hurricane, I think it's a 30% chance to confuse, which really can mess up a Pokemon, especially if you're running something like Zygarde, which goes Coil and has the boosts in attack. You get that boosted confusion hit, that could ruin your opponent's day right there.
Alright, so now we've got Patrick here leading with that Kyogre and that Ludicolo. Gonna get that Swism ability up for that Kyogre on his turn and the fake out pressure, but we've also got Smeargle, Xerneas here on Anthony's side of the field. Is gonna be able to at least go for the Follow Me and at least keep fake out from happening, so in a good place to set up that Geomancy if he wants to. That's to worry about that Water Spout from Kyogre.
Now, that's the thing. Smeargle has so many options in this first position. You got Fake Out, which you could run, but that with that Ludicolo on the field, that's kind of threatening. Wide Guard, if, again, Ludicolo is really the threat with that Fake Out, it's going to be able to ruin
No
Anthony's
follow,
chance.
yeah.
He's going to go for the Fake Out on the Xerneas. We're going to see Smeargle go for Wide Guard, so that will prevent Origin Pulse, Water Spout from the Kyogre. And those are very... There's the Water Spout, so we pretty much went nowhere for that turn, except Xerneas took a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, now at least you have that, now you know for sure that Smeargle has Wide Guard. You are a little bit less inclined to have to press that, and at least now that Ludicolo is going to have to decide what it wants to target, because if you have that Wide Guard option on Smeargle, you can still set up that that Geomancy with Xerneas, and there's not a lot that Ludicolo could do in terms of damage output against it, unless you have something like the Smart Strike with the Kartana and things like that.
Now, real quickly, I want to point out Patrick's Ludicolo did lose a little bit of damage without getting hit. That means it's a Life Orb, so...
It did show the Life Orb damage, it did, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't point that out. So, but yeah, the Life Orb, that if you were running any Kyogre or Groudon, that would be threatening. But in this case for Anthony, that is something to watch out. It's definitely an easier knockout because usually with Assault Vest Ludicolo, that can be.
Ooh.
We're gonna see another.
Alright, so now we've
Wide
got
Guard.
that Tornadus coming in here as that Wide Guard goes in, but we did see that Kyogre get out of here as Skull goes into that Xerneas. He's still gonna be in a really good
That's gonna
spot
do
to
a lot of damage. What more?
Ooh,
And the
gets
burn.
the burn. Is
Timer
gonna
now on
probably-
Xerneas.
is probably going to be able to go for that Geomancy. It's going to hurt a little bit because that Xerneas now is going to be in a spot where it has to watch out for the burn. It's going to be able to do some massive damage output here, but we've still got the Prankster ability from that Tornadus. Is going to be able to set up a tailwind on that next turn and give Patrick more of that speed boost. The Xerneas is going to be a little bit less of a threat now, though it is, you know, again, on that timer because of that burn. And now Smeargle, now that we know that there's nothing here that has any sort of spread move, is going to be able to go for the follow me and at least allow Xerneas to get some sort of move up. And now you have to be worried about that tailwind as well.
And that's the tailwind, rain boost, Ludicolo, that outspeeds everything else on the field. That is that's the main threat here from for Anthony's side, because if the Ludicolo it's going to protect this turn,
yeah,
so
doesn't want to take him
does not want to get that Zern hit
from that Xerneas here. Smeargle goes for the follow me, so going to draw attention to itself. Probably going to see a tailwind here though from Patrick, just going to allow himself that extra boost to speed. But now at least that Ludicolo is going to protect. The Xerneas is going to be able to go for the Dazzling Gleam instead, so no Moonblast here, goes after both Pokemon, is going to break any sort of staff that Patrick might have on here.
And well, actually didn't do as much as I thought. Tornadus definitely showing that bulk. That was actually a little bit surprising for me because I thought Tornadus was very, very lower. So when it comes to very much lower defenses, I don't know how to speak today, guys. But yeah, so showing that little bit of bulk, that knowing that it could take a hit from a Xerneas. Did the Xerneas get the Geomancy up? I think it did.
Got the Geomancy up the same turn it was burned. Does go for the follow me again on the Smeargle here as taunt now from that Tornadus is gonna keep the Smeargle from doing wide guard or that follow me here as Ludicolo goes for the Scald, goes into that Smeargle and is gonna break a sash that is gonna be potentially on that Smeargle. Goes for that life damage again, but Dazzling Gleam gonna be able to pick up the knockout here now on that Tornadus and gets a double knockout actually on that Ludicolo side. So now Anthony just has to really make sure he stalls out that sort of that Kyogre's that Kyogre's Drizzle, because it won't be able to switch back in here. Patrick, but Anthony doesn't even have his own Kyogre though, so the weather is going to be strictly on Patrick's side. That Kyogre, you know, all you have to really do is just wide guard against it if that's like your biggest fear. But we've got the Xerneas now coming in as well.
And Patrick now going into his last two, but those last two are legendary Pokemon, and that's going to be important, especially with Smeargle not being able to wide guard. If this Kyogre, and if it really depends on what item it's carrying. If it's carrying a Choice Scarf, it will be able to outspeed Xerneas, and that means it can knock out the Xerneas and the Smeargle with the Water Spout, or do massive damage on whatever is in the back for Anthony. I don't think we've seen any of.
We haven't. He hasn't switched out.
Yeah, he hasn't switched out yet. So whatever, we really don't know yet. But looking, top of Finny is really the only safe switch in for Anthony.
I mean, Anthony also has a Kartana, and Kartana, I know that like when the general set for Kartana, if you're running something like an Assault Vest, is you can take at least a one Water Spout here, but Smeargle gonna get out of there. He's gonna want to reset that taunt here, as Incineroar is actually gonna be the Pokemon out on the field. Is gonna have the fake out pressure for next turn, but is gonna have to really worry now. I think you're gonna just sacrifice this Incineroar.
I know. I don't think that.
No, you're just sacrificing the Incineroar here because there's nothing you can really do. You want that Smeargle for later as protect from that Xerneas, because you want to make sure that that Smeargle can help support that Xerneas later on as Water Spout.
That was actually more genius than you would think. Sacrificing the Pokemon, oh, that's terrible. No, in Anthony's case, it's not. Getting that Smeargle back in is key because he can remove the threat from Kyogre, get that wide guard up. Water Spout is gone. Follow me for the Scald, and that'll allow Anthony to do that last little bit of damage he needs with his own Xerneas. But Patrick setting up his own Xerneas means that both of them are back to their neutral defenses when against each other.
It also just depends on which Xerneas is faster, because we don't know that one quite yet.
That's
the thing
true.
is, like, Patrick, even though he's only down to his last two Pokemon, is still in a really good spot here. He's got like two really good Pokemon. Sure, Drizzle is over, but the Xerneas is on its last bit of like couple of legs. Anthony still has kind of like that quote-unquote like Pokemon advantage.
And I think Patrick
Smeargle
also has the Tailwind up, is that right?
Yeah,
he's got one turn left, I think.
But now Smeargle also has the ability to go for Fake Out, can go for the Wide Guard again, can go for just a bunch of different moves that can help protect that Xerneas and allow it to get at least one more move up. It comes down to the matter of, is one of these Xerneas faster, and if so, which one is going to happen? Like, Wide Guard is going to come now from the Smeargle, and it's going to have to make sure that Moonblast is actually going to be faster now from Patrick's side of the field. It could be a speed tie, not actually.
And that's going to get rid of Anthony's Xerneas, so that Xern is gone for good. It's going to be Smeargle on Anthony's last Pokemon, and Water Spout not going to do anything. So Anthony, in this case, Patrick now seems to have taken the upper hand. He has two legendaries on his side.
Depends on what Anthony has on as his last Pokemon. It's probably going to be something like that Fire Guard, potentially. It's not something you really want to bring in, especially
not against these two. It's Kartana.
That's actually really,
that is
really
the best Pokemon to bring in at the moment, because the Leaf Blade, I'm not sure if Leaf Blade, sometimes Leaf Blade can knock out Kyogre, because Kyogre does have the higher special defense, so it might be able to take it out.
I mean, here what you do is you go after the Xerneas because that Xerneas is set up, and if you can assume, if you're assuming that the Kyogre is choice locked, then all you do is click Wide Guard and hope that you have enough Wide Guards to counter out that Water Spout.
Yep.
Because now you're in a position where you can go after that Xerneas with a Smart Strike, and then go after the Kyogre later on. You can leave with the Kyogre alone as long as you know that it's choice locked. And then you can just keep clicking Wide Guard until the end of time, until your Kartana's in a position to be able to knock out that Kyogre.
The only thing with that is Xerneas most likely two shots Kartana, and Smeargle then with that Wide Guard, you can only pick one, Wide Guard or Follow Me. And Wide Guard will neutralize the Kyogre, Follow Me neutralizes the Xerneas. You have to pick one of them that is more threatening than the other.
Ooh, so
a lot of damage there.
Water Spout now from that Kyogre. Not going to hit any of these Pokemon, so Kartana's still in a really good spot, and now this is the moment where you go after that Smart Strike into that Xerneas. It is not going to... It's going to ignore those special defense boosts from before. Is not
enough damage.
So that is going to put Anthony... It's going to put Anthony in a really bad position. That Kartana's not going to be able to take another Moonblast here, and we're assuming that is going to be an Assault Vest Kartana, so it can't protect on this turn, which means Anthony is actually going to lose this match.
There's nothing he can do at this point. Now, one thing that I was wondering, because I believe we've seen that Kartana, it's impossible to one-shot Xerneas unless you get a crit or you're at +1. So maybe if Anthony returns to his position, you have to think, what if I can one-shot the Kyogre and then go for Smart Strike onto Xerneas at +1?
So Smeargle for that Follow Me, and that Moonblast is going to go after it. And it is going to be a little bit rough because Smeargle is going to...
There's no way.
Kartana won't be able to really do anything now here as Water Spout is going to knock out, giving game 1 to Patrick here. So actually a really nice turn of events for Patrick. Did lose 2 of his Pokemon in one turn, but managed to at least turn that around. You have the right Pokemon that you need in the end. And I think, you know, when you're running something like a Xerneas, the biggest question is always, when do you set up Xerneas and when is it safe to do so? And for Patrick, that was when he had to forcibly bring it in. And he was in a really great spot. I think Anthony has that potential to, like, as good as Smeargle and Xerneas is together, I think Xerneas and Kartana, especially against something like what Patrick has, is also just as important because you do a lot of different pressures on there. You've got, sure, I can Hurricane into that Kartana, but now that Xerneas is going to be great to Geomancy, even though I want the Tailwind. So there's a lot of different things.
It's definitely tricky, and the combination, I think what helps make Xerneas and Kartana so useful is they are... Combined, they can counter so many different leads and combos, like Kyogre, Ludicolo, but especially the Ludicolo's Life Orb. That's not a threat for Xerneas as long as you keep it alive enough to outspeed that Ludicolo, or survive a Ludicolo hit. If you can take a single Ludicolo or 2 Ludicolo hits after getting that Geomancy up, you're good to go. You can just sweep the rest of the team because nothing's going to be faster than that.
I mean, I still think that, like, you have to figure out how to preserve your Xerneas carefully because we saw that they got Scald.
And that's why Smeargle is so useful with Follow Me and Wide Guard.
Yeah,
Definitely is the perfect partner.
There's a lot of things where Patrick has to consider. Like, the game went good for him in the end, but I think his endgame could have been set up just a little bit better. Anthony had a really good pacing of that, but I think his Kartana was brought in a little bit too late, especially when you have something like that Smeargle, where you have to make a choice between the Wide Guard and the Follow Me, which is really tough for him. I like the Smeargle Xerneas lead for the most part. I still think that Xerneas could probably be paired with something else to put a little bit more pressure, set up that Xerneas a little bit better, and then not take as much damage there. I think
possibly
having...
I don't know if there's what would be better.
I mean, I honestly think that, like, Kartana or like Kartana Xerneas or Kartana Incineroar is also a really good lead.
Kartana Incineroar is genius.
Well, because you have big out pressure for each one, and then Kartana does a lot of damage, but Xerneas Kartana as well, because you put a lot of pressure onto the stuff on Patrick's side, but then you also have Incineroar and Xerneas and the fake out pressure on that side, because that's something that Smeargle was lacking earlier on.
Yeah. I think what's interesting when it comes to Anthony's side, and we're going to see a Smeargle Kartana lead off of Anthony and Ludicolo and Incineroar. So once again, fake out pressure. Actually, 3 out of 4 Pokemon here have the chance to fake out. So it seems like Anthony expected a different kind of lead. Kartana kind of threatened by that Incineroar. Ludicolo with fake out, definitely pulling. That's pretty threatening as well. Kartana really can't do much here. I mean, it's Sacred Sword.
You got Sacred Sword against Incineroar, but it is at -1.
That's not a one-shot. You can't take it out. And then you got the Flare Blitz threat. So Smeargle could follow me, maybe. We're going to see Smeargle go for Fake Out. So I'm always amazed at how fast Smeargle is. It tricks my brain every time.
So Ludicolo goes into the Fake Out for Kartana as well, but Incineroar's not going to be able to do anything on this turn.
And nothing happens.
I mean, it's still important to have, like, that, to understand, like, which Pokemon is the fastest in terms of fake out. You've got the,
Yeah.
the defense boost on that Smeargle and the special attack ball. Not that bad, but at least the Smeargle can take physical attacks a little more comfortably. Kartana's in a weird spot. It has the potential to kind of go for the Smart Strike. It's still going to be a -1, and no, there's not a lot of things it can do to really threaten either Ludicolo or that Incineroar.
And but now having the Kartana on the field does kind of get into Patrick's head. Does he keep in the Incineroar to try and knock out the Kartana, or does he switch to Kyogre, thinking Kartana's going to switch out, knowing it can't do anything? So you have that option there.
Part of it is that, like, if you're Patrick, you have to figure out which Pokemon is the bigger threat. Is the Smeargle a bigger threat? Is the Kartana a bigger threat? And then we've actually got that Incineroar getting out because he is going to be afraid
There's the
of
Kyogre
that,
switch, so there you go.
So Kyogre coming in, and if you're Anthony, you could agree that that's the thing that he's doing, and you Leaf Blade into that spot, then you are then I don't know what to say.
That would be a genius call right there.
But
even though it is at
going,
-1.
Ludicolo protecting itself on this turn. It's not going to take damage from anything. As Smeargle goes for the follow me just in case on this turn, leaving Kartana the lone
So
Pokemon
Kartana,
here to
I want
attack.
Kartana here.
And it is going to go for the
Sacred Sword,
so
not the Leaf Blade.
yeah, going into that what was that Incineroar is going to at least negate some of the damage into a potential water spout. And later on, it is the only kind of move we've seen from Patrick's Kyogre. And I mean, the Smeargle is still in a really good spot, but Ludicolo is going to be the fastest Pokemon now here, thanks to that Swift ability.
And now, if Anthony doesn't switch, Smeargle is now in that tricky position it's been in all match long, or round long, I should say. Follow me or Wide Guard.
Kartana takes a water spout very easily, so you could still, so that
the Scout, that was definitely the right play, I think.
Because that Kyogre is super threatened now. Smeargle's going to hold on thanks to that Focus Sash, but Kartana's in a great spot now to go for the Leaf Blade into that Kyogre. Kyogre actually going for a Scald, so...
And that means Kartana's going to survive. It's real, Kartana got a free ride there. So let's see that.
Yeah, so that Smeargle is going to be knocked out. Leaf Blade goes into that
Kyogre
slot. Is going to be able to pick up the knockout thanks to that chip damage for earlier. Gets a +1 to its Beast Boost. So if you bring in that Incineroar, you at least can negate that again. But Kartana is a fantastic spot, and now you actually can kind of bring in that Xerneas in the back and kind of set up as you need to, because now you've got a Kartana here that's like in a really good spot to just kind of take names. Sure, you've got the fake out pressure from Incineroar as it comes back in.
Yeah.
Double Incineroar.
Double
now
Incineroar.
You've actually got
mirror match in here.
One, not really. It's not a mirror match, but you've got. What you've got is now you've got double Intimidates here. You've got double fake out pressure, and Kartana is still in like a really okay spot. Sure, you can get knocked off, but Flare Blitz won't do anything to your own to your Kartana because of that. You have to double into the Kartana if you want to stop it, because now your biggest hit here is gone, and Patrick's in a little bit of worse position. Sure, you Scald after the Incineroar, or you take down that Incineroar, but Kartana is kind of just free to go after what it needs to.
The only thing with Kartana, and same goes for Incineroar here on Anthony's side, he can't really threaten either one of Patrick's Pokemon because Flare Blitz does nothing. Knockoff would be the best option to go, and we're going to see Fake Out, obviously.
The faster Fake Out here is actually going to be on Anthony's side as Scald goes into the Kartana.
Well, actually, we didn't see Patrick go for Fake Out here, so he was going to go for an attack.
Ooh, ouch,
the burn! It was the burn. Yikes.
Ouch. And Kartana goes for the Sacred Sword. That burn is actually going to be really important. It's going to do absolutely nothing here. That is
that rough. Kartana, within that part, that's where it seems like the match is going to change. Kartana really can't do anything anymore. You saw it do like an 8th or so onto a super effective attack. Kartana, that burn really was crucial.
Man, that spot is cursed. Last round, because
it's so true.
Last match, that Xerneas got burned in the same exact spot. So Ludicolo going for the Scald, gonna be rain boosted here into that Incineroar spot. It's gonna do insane.
Oh my gosh! And don't forget, they had a Life Orb. We gotta remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, it is just to pick up that knockout so cleanly. And I mean, Kartana going for Sacred Sword again. It's just not gonna do anything thanks to that burn, and it is that neutral attack now.
And there's the flare, but in the rain.
Yeah, even in rain, it's gonna do
a lot of damage.
Anthony's just gonna be in a bad spot.
There's no way it's gonna.
He still has the Smeargle in the no, sorry. He's got his last.
We don't know what his last is. If it's Xerneas, you gotta stop the rain. You gotta stop the rain, really.
No, there's nothing you can do. You've got that Ludicolo that's like faster there, and you've got one more Pokemon in the back for Patrick. It's probably gonna be Xerneas.
That would be most
likely.
Although don't forget you got that +2 in speed, and if you could stop the rain, that might be that's the only real reason I think Anthony can win this. Otherwise, Patrick can just sweep. Also, really depends on how much Ludicolo does.
You can also switch out one of your fake out Pokemon and bring in that Xerneas, set it up, and then fake out with the other one later on. It's just there's a lot of things that you can do here as like Patrick. He has options. Anthony is kind of just really forced to either attack or click Geomancy and hope he doesn't get knocked out from the double tap, which honestly at this point is looking less and less likely.
Pretty unlikely. But
That
Incineroar, though,
really
don't forget, the rain damage, Flare Blitz is negated, and then
but you have other
Xerneas
options.
knockoff.
You have other attacks for Incineroar. Like Flare Blitz isn't your only option.
No,
You
but
could
there's
go for the
knockoff usually.
as well. You can
Knockoff
go
doesn't
for
do a
U-turn.
lot because I believe Fairy Resist Dark, right?
So yeah, but now you've got that Xerneas coming in for
that's really what
Incineroar.
that's what happened.
And so you've still got that really speedy Ludicolo. You can always switch it out for later, or have it like get knocked out. But Xerneas goes for Protect here, gets in a free switch for Patrick on that Xerneas. Ludicolo gonna go for the Scald. I think Rain is gonna expire on this turn, so Ludicolo is gonna be slower now. But now you're in a spot where
face another Xerneas.
Patrick is gonna be free to click that Geomancy, and Anthony has to make a choice of what he does. He either goes for his own Geomancy or he just tries to deal out damage here. As Ludicolo is going to be switching for the Incineroar. It's going to have that fake out pressure for next turn, even though Anthony's going to have that protect option. Yeah, I mean, he has a protect option, but now you've got Patrick free to go for the Geomancy. Anthony is also going for the Geomancy here, but he protects next turn and does...
So we saw Anthony did outspeed, though, so that might be the deciding factor. Again, I'd say there's about, like, maybe 95% chance. Anthony still... in my mind, I always think, what is the most... Even if you're in the worst position, is there still a way you can win this? And here, if Anthony does outspeed, and I believe critical hit Dazzling Gleam, I think that's his only real option here because he would be able to... The special defense boost from Patrick's side wouldn't matter, and then he's just facing the Ludicolo. That's literally the only thing, and I'm not even sure, does Dazzling Gleam one-shot that? We don't know the item on Incineroar. If it's Assault Vest, it might not be able to take that Dazzling Gleam. If it's Berry... I'm sorry, if it's Assault Vest, it might be able to... Oh, it's down to yellow. I thought it was at full health.
No, in this range, it will definitely get knocked out that
No,
Dazzling
it's gone.
Gleam.
So really, Anthony has to
Yeah,
call a safe Dazzling Gleam, hope for a critical hit, and if it happens, hope that knocks out the opposing Xerneas.
If you're Anthony, you're hoping that if you protect here, then you hope for the fake out, and you hope yours is faster. But Xerneas, but that is going to be withdrawn here, which totally makes sense. You bring
because
it
Ludicolo also has fake out pressure.
Now Anthony is going to be able to protect, but Ludicolo can fake out next turn. Protect here on that Xerneas, doesn't want to take any damage potentially from that Dazzling Gleam, but now if you burn double protects, you get that D-Gleam, now you can fake out, but it doesn't matter because now Patrick has an option to just kind of like keep going here. Ludicolo does get knocked out, but now you've got the Incineroar on here, and you've got the Xerneas. Xerneas, even with like, that Moonblast is going to be able to do some damage on there, so it's still a rough call.
I don't know. Again, Anthony with that crit is really his own. I think that was his main option. Patrick, you have the now Flare Blitz with it not in the rain does do a lot of damage on the Xerneas. Anthony has to.
So we still don't know which one's faster.
We don't.
Patrick's might be slower just because of the fact that he has the Tornadus, but Xerneas goes for the protect on Anthony's side, which makes sense, so we're probably going to burn the fake out on this turn.
I think we saw Anthony outspeed the Geomancy, so that could have been a speed tie, but...
Geomancy and the Moonblast, but Patrick did protect on this turn. So now it just comes a matter of which Pokemon is going to attack first.
It's going to be an interesting one to finish. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be rough, I think, because it all comes down to this.
All right, everyone, place your bets. This is like a game of luck here.
It's going to be rough. So Xerneas goes for the Dazzling Gleam first.
Anthony does outspeed. The Incineroar is gone. Not a crit. Not a crit.
The Moonblast is going to do a lot of damage here because, like, Moonblast is your only option here. It's going to do an insane amount of damage. Even if you have Moonblast on Anthony's, like, it's just going to be rough.
Over 50%.
No special attack drop though, which is at least nice.
That's what Anthony needed. Anthony again needs this crit, or Patrick can be able to finish this match with the Moonblast.
If Anthony has Moonblast on his,
and he does,
he might actually be able to pick up.
If he can hit this crit,
it's not even a crit. It's just
no.
So
yeah, he needs it.
Yep. So game 2 and the round goes to Patrick.
Dang. That was, I think, one of the most luck-driven matches we've seen in this entire game. Because not only did Anthony have to hope, like I said, we keep going back to that critical hit, because really that was the only way Anthony could take this thing. But then you have that burn on the Kartana, and earlier we saw the burn on the Xerneas. It's just Anthony did not have good luck, like, at all. I mean,
part of it is, like, you have to wonder, you have to be able to play your outs there. I think game 1, he definitely, had different options that he could have done to be able to not be put in a position where he has to rely on like, wide guard, on follow me, on things like that for Kartana. And I think Patrick, he played game 1 really well in the fact that he kept that Xerneas right when he needed to be able to set up that Geomancy, and then game 2 being in a spot where it's like, oh, okay, now I have what I need to do. He was able to switch out that Ludicolo and the Incineroar, and I think I think he was able to like take it on later, but still rough luck for Anthony. But I think it was still like a game well done. But we will see you guys. We're actually gonna switch over to the Let's Go stream again, because as you can see,
get playing that.
Yeah, as you can see, we've got a lot more matches coming up. So we're gonna We're gonna wait for Miguel for a little bit to switch us over because he's got control of the stream deck, and I don't know who I'm gonna have with me next round. It's a surprise. Taryn. Taryn's volunteering, so I got Taryn with me next round. Actually, Miguel, we have 5 rounds, right? We just barely made the kicker, guys. We have 24 people, so that's top 8 points,
crazy.
top 8 cut. So
top 8's gonna be exciting then.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. We'll see. As you can tell, because Riley cast with me, Riley's not playing. Riley did hit all his finishes except for I think regionals finishes because there are none that exist. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the Let's Go side. We're gonna have our super nerd here. Tell Taryn if she should choose the Dome Fossil or the Helix Fossil for our Lord and Savior Helix, or my favorite Kabuto, because I love the Dome Fossil. So, see you guys over on the Let's Go stream.
And I'll
Peace.
see you whenever.